And it's like, we do all of this for that one piece of paper. And I'm not talking about this. I'm not talking about your degree. I'm talking about this right here. Congratulations, your student loans are paid in full. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Samin, and I don't know why, but I'm getting a lot of like Romeo and Juliet like fusion vibes from this outfit and hair and makeup. I feel like this is how Romeo would like style his hair. And that's it, really. Okay, today I am here to talk to you about a very important issue. It is actually a crisis right now. It's happening in the States, in Canada, all over the world, and that is student debt. In the States alone, just for the year 2017, students have accrued $1.3 trillion in student debt. Just wrap your mind around that for 1 second and think what that means, like where that money could be going instead of, you know, just paying off debt. And I get it, there's only so much like the government can help in relieving some of that, but I'm gonna help you with some tips that have really helped me pay off my student debt. I'll lay down the situation of like what's going on with me. So I paid off my student debt in 16 months, and that was on a nearly like minimum wage in Canada. And it was $35,000 in debt, and that's a lot. That is really, really a lot. But it is possible if you just really buckle down, and hopefully some of these tips help you. And I know this is like an issue that a lot of people are going through, so if you know somebody who is experiencing this, please feel free to share this with them, because I know it's gonna help a lot of people out. And to be fair, I'm gonna tell you that I was living at home when, I'm still living at home, when I paid it all off, and that was really helpful because you're saving on, I still live at home, you can hear like there's a lot of noise. And when you live at home, of course, you don't have to pay rent, utilities, bills, groceries, if you're lucky, laundry, like a lot of that. So do consider, if you are in the process of moving out and you have a lot of debt and you want to kind of focus on one of them, just think about like putting that off for a while, because you will save like hundreds of dollars per month, and that will really help cut down some of the debt. And also, all I really had to focus on in that situation was my phone bill, my transport, and the rest of it just went towards like student debt. So I was lucky in that sense. And everyone's situation is going to be different. You might get like a job that pays better than mine does. You might not be able to live at home, like situations like that. So I hope you take it with a grain of salt and tweak it as you wish. But let's get started. Okay, one of the most important points, so important that I'm gonna put it as number one, is you have to know why you're doing this. I promise you there will be situations, times when you just like be like, screw it, I don't want to do this anymore, then you go crazy. And I've lost it twice in like a year and a half. I've lost it twice, and I wanted to actually what I ended up doing, I just took my paycheck and just blew it on like stupid stuff just to like rebel. And that is because like I didn't budget at first. All I was doing was just paying off my bills and then just giving my whole paycheck towards like OSAP, which was not healthy, but it kind of helped me get to my goal faster, right? But there will be times when you will be tested and you have to focus and remember why you're doing this. Personally, for me, a lot of people might relate with this. I want to live a debt-free life. I don't want to pay interest. I got no interest in paying interest. So far, like I'm off to a good start. I just know like people end up spending like thousands of dollars more like over years, like just on interest. That could be like on a home, a car, whatever. So if I can kind of get in that habit of like not paying off debt, or sorry, paying as little interest as I can, I'm kind of like setting myself up for success a little bit, you know. Next, if it's possible, think about refinancing how much you pay off, because that could save you thousands of dollars, honestly. What happened in my situation, I live in Ontario, so I had OSAP. If you make under a certain amount per year, they will just completely waive the interest, which, I don't know, blessing in disguise if that was a good thing that I wasn't being paid a lot. How that works is they kind of readjust how much you pay per month. And that brings me on to my next point, which is pay more than the minimum. So for example, every month I had to pay about like 146 or something, right? And then from there, I just started paying 300. And then from each paycheck, I was paying like maybe $1,000 every paycheck. Like, you're good, right? So pay more than you're supposed to, because when you pay the minimum, that's stretched out to maybe like 10 years. And you don't want this problem like into your 30s, 35. Like, if you can manage it, great. I didn't want to, but keep that in mind. Like, the more you pay off, the sooner it'll be done and over with. And that's the great thing as well. If you do come across like any extra cash, let's say it's like your birthday, or you got a raise, or you just like cut something out of your budget, then what you can do is take that money that you do have and put that straight towards, just funnel it through, and then you're just that much closer to reaching your goal, right? And the sun just went down. Cool. Next tip. So budgeting is the one thing that like really helped me out, especially near the end, and I wish I'd done it a little bit sooner. Budgeting, it really forces you to think what you need versus what you want. And when you force yourself to ask yourself that question, you think, you know what, maybe I could put off this purchase. Also, when you do set up a budget, you can also do this really nifty thing where you have automatic payments. So for example, without even thinking, if you decide you want to pay off, let's say $300 per paycheck towards your student loans, you can set that up automatically. That goes towards your loans without you having to think, hey, maybe I actually do want to go on that shopping spree, and maybe I can just kind of borrow from my student loan funds. Do you know what I mean? So if you can set up automatic payment, I didn't do that because my paycheck like kind of fluctuated. So that's why I would put like a little bit more certain months I had to like cut back a little bit. It's natural. But if you're on a salary, then lucky you, right? You kind of have like that going for you where you can like set that up automatically. And one of the best tips I can give you as well, just look at how far you've come, because that's the one thing that was so motivating for me to see that I was at like 13,000, 12,000, 11,000, and then just like the countdown started from there, right? And when you're near like the middle, it's kind of difficult to see the end goal, but once you're in like 10,000 or like even less, like that's when like the adrenaline really starts to like kick in, right? And then you're like, oh my gosh, it might be like the next few months where like everything just comes together, right? In the meantime, what you can do is also imagine your life after death. Death? Oh my god. I just said death. I meant debt. But same thing. Yeah, so life after debt, I filled up my Sephora cart, and then it was maybe like $1,500 worth of like stuff that I swore that I was gonna buy. And I made like a Pinterest board on like all this like extra stuff I was gonna buy, how like, you know, my life was gonna change and all of this. Take that with a grain of salt, of course. Like, don't go crazy as soon as like your last few bits of debt is like paid off, because that's where you kind of like go crazy as well. I also what I ended up doing was I thought, okay, well, I'm in this habit now where I'm paying off or like giving up a certain amount of my paycheck. Let me kind of continue with that habit. So what I did now is I still pay off the bills that I have to. The rest of my paycheck, like half of it goes towards savings, half of it goes towards like investments. You can put that in your checking. Like, there's so many things you can do now with your money. So if you are in that habit and you notice like living with debt wasn't too difficult, you can kind of continue that forward so that you build on those good habits, right? And that you don't, let's say, have all that hard work go in vain. You know, it's like when you reach your weight loss goal, do you really want to offset that by, you know, downing like a huge burger? It's kind of like that. So think about that as well, because that plays a big role in like how you continue forward, right? It's not just like, you know, pay off your debt, that's it. right? So those are some of the most helpful tips I can give you. I would really love if you had some, if you could share them below or let me know. You can find me on Instagram. I'm under SaminSays. On Twitter as well, I'm Samin_says. I'll have everything like linked over here. And again, please share this video if you know anybody who's going through the same thing, because I promise you, like when I was going through this, I was doing as much research as I could to really just optimize the situation I was in. So I'd really appreciate it, and I'm sure people who are in this situation would appreciate it as well if you could share this video. And I will see you in my next video. Bye. Seriously, student loans got me like